It seems like there's a stalemate going on. And then he scouts this expected. He always does amazing against drones. You can see it already toasted 2 drones, and the animation is actually really amazing.
Love to see those scorched drones on the map. Hate to see him as a Zerg player, but they're still awesome looking. Aliens are also very effective against Zerglings. Speedlings make them much less effective, but still, if they get in that splash damage, they're really great. I'm surprised he's not hitting them and running away, kiting them, because he could easily kill this amount of Zerglings with those Helions.
Yeah, the Zerg has just put out his 4th expansion, and yeah, he's pulling away from the Terran. Actually, no, not really.
You can see the Terran player has more harvesters and a greater income, about the same gas, so they're both mining off of 4 geysers.
Ooh, Banelings. Oh, he just burrowed his Banelings for a trap. It's a trap.
It's SCV Rush with his ever so famous Star Wars impressions.
So yeah, the Terran player has a Thor now, which makes all Mulas pretty much useless.
Several Thor.
Yeah, trying to harassing the base, of course. The Mulus is still very good at map controlling, but it's just that they cannot really attack the Terran base at all.
You can see that Javelin missile launcher has a range of 10 and now upgraded does 14 damage versus light armor, but that's 14 times 4. So that's actually 56 damage to Mutalisks. That's just so powerful because a Mutalisk only has 120 hit points. So 3 rounds of Thor shooting can kill any large group of Mutalisks with that splash damage.
Yeah, especially how Zerg Mutalisk likes to clump together, and that makes the situation even worse.
Mutalisk coming in here, getting in some good harass, but he sees that Thor coming in. You just gotta run. Really, unless you have a gajillion Mutalisks, you don't want to go up against a Thor, especially 2 Thors. That's a quick way to lose a lot of minerals and gas.
I don't think... Oh, he just sees this expansion floating up with his Zerglings dying.
Looks like he's going to bring in some Mutalisks. This is a great time to push. Those Thors are slow. You get in the Mutalisks, take out maybe a Viking, maybe some Helions, or help suppress this expansion of the Terran player. So you get some great SCV kills, but you just got to watch out for these Thors coming in.
I mean, they are a god. You don't mess with God.
Oh, and there he loses a significant amount of Mutalisks
he just
there.
lost like 2 in like 1 volley.
Whenever they get low, you just have to run them away from those Thors. You do not want to mess.
One thing that's interesting about the Thor is once they fire, they just keep firing all 4 missiles. That means you have to run before they fire, or else all the missiles will land on your Mutalisk, and you will take significant damage.
It's just a nice 56 damage splat. We got some harassment up here on the upper Zerg expansion. And some harassment over here. TLO is so great at this micro. Dual Helion harassment. You can see the Zerg players burrowed a lot of the drones here.
Yeah, that's very good harassment, especially on 2 bases. And Helion doesn't require too much micro, but the defending player has to micro both bases very well to lose like minimal amount of drones. And you can see, well, Zerg's player has a lot of drones still, even with that harassment.
So he did a great job of running his drones away or burrowing them, saving them somehow, but at the same time that's a lot of time lost from mining minerals. And every second lost is about a second of minerals lost per drone. So that's a significant impact.
Yeah, and Baneling's still there. I'm surprised he didn't move him.
See these Mutalisks coming in trying to harass, but oh, there come the Thors, and there go the Mutas.
The Mutas don't just die, they explode. Like,
you don't want to be under a
cool.
Muta when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, this base is actually poorly... Oh, he just put down another command center. And the Terran player is actually pushing... Oh, here... Oh, the Banelings. He's going to make sure works with those Helions if that can come out. And he sees it. Oh, a little late.
Just a poorly timed unburrow right there, and all those Helions get...
And then the little one scans because he thought there's more Baneling, but there isn't any. That's pretty funny. Ooh, here's it comes.
At least he made him burn scan. Some nice fungal growth going down right here to help these Zerglings get in there.
And the Terran player is making short work of these Zerglings investors. There's really not much the Zerg player can do as of this point because the Terran mech army is so strong. Zerglings don't do well mid-game.
That fungal growth is great versus light and small units, but you can see when a unit has 90 hit points or 150 hit points like a Siege Tank, 160, it's that 36 damage just doesn't count for much. Oh, he's got some Ultralists here. This could get interesting. Ultras, if positioned properly, are extremely effective, and they do great damage. 43 damage versus armor
and
per
he's flanking
attack.
the Terran player, and the Terran player is in a lot of trouble here. You can, ooh, and Terran player uses a 250mm cannon.
You can see those unloading.
One of them.
Ultralists are just stopped in their tracks. Only one gets that army in attacks and doesn't even kill the Thor.
So if the Terran position is good, then the Zerg player doesn't really stand a chance. But right now the Terran player is on creep, which means that he could potentially be off position.
The Zerg gets so much movement advantage on creep, so it's really, you have to be much more cautious when you get onto the creep.
It's also like an intimate. Oh, right.
Looks like it could be game for this Zerg. This Terran army is massive and moving in. Ultralists are just coming from everywhere. Zerglings are coming from everywhere. The 250mm cannons are going off. This battle's pretty crazy right now.
It's like the ultimate counter for Ultralist, but he doesn't have any infestors, which is probably for gas limited reasons, but yeah.
An infestor would be pretty great right now because you could neural parasite one of these Thors and gain control of them, and that's a huge impact on the Terran player. Oh, we got some Ultralists coming from the back into those siege tanks right there. Oh, and this Ultralist is getting in some great damage on all of these Thors. Remember, they do area effect damage with their giant claws.
Yeah, their splash is pretty amazing. But the Thor is also big too, so it's probably not going to splash too much.
Oh, and these Thors are near their end.
So the Terran player is pulling away, or got defeated in his main army, but at the same time he took the expansion down, and he's assaulting his top right expansion here. And yeah, that's actually ooh, he is
sieging the tanks, but some Zerglings get in there. Those Zerglings, they can really be easily taken out by those Helions, so it's hard. What do you focus down? Do you focus on the tanks, the Helions? I'd say go for the Helions first. Oh, we got an Ultralist coming in the back, but it's blocked. You see this Ultralist just gets wasted because he doesn't think he can go up the ramp with these buildings being constructed. That's a great move by TLO.
That's pretty funny. That's a good description for how.
Oh, and there goes the hatchery.
He exceeded with all his builds.
That's really going to affect the Zerg player's income. You can see he's dropping significantly behind him now. Oh, and TLO comes in with some Viking harass. TLO just so creative. Vikings, Helions, siege tanks, Thors, all over the map.
And the Viking, it's also Viking. The micro on the Viking is also very impressive. Because he's doing like 3 things at once.
That's a great tip. You know, if you're using those Vikings and you land them and your opponent has ground-to-ground troops, just lift off the damaged Vikings and let the other Vikings fight until they're too damaged. And then lift them off. So you get your maximum damage in and you don't lose any units.
Yeah. So I forgot what I was going to say. But I'll come back to me.
So these Vikings are just chilling over here, maybe waiting for another surprise attack. And the Zerg is really trying to get back on his feet. But you can see this Terran player has the income advantage in this game right now. It has a giant army. Look at that. 122 to 96 in terms of unit size. But it doesn't look like much is happening, so we're just going to fast forward this game a little bit. Doing some downtime. Oh, just some brief Viking harassment. They just taking out those overlords. You can't do much with Zerglings versus the Vikings. You can bring in your queens, but even they do pretty slow damage to these Vikings.
Is that a bug, or the Viking actually tilt sideways to attack?
The Vikings tilt when they're trying to turn in place to attack, I believe.
Oh, that's interesting.
And if they're sent to move to a location they're not facing, they tilt to move there.
Oh, and the Zerg, I think, is making assault on the Terran army, or the Terran bases. Which one is he going to go for? Oh,
see, he's moving down here. Ooh, it looks like this base is very heavily defended. The planetary fortress, siege tank, and a bunker that now has troops in it.
That now has troops in it. Yeah, he's probably going to... Does he even see this? Does he see any of this, or no?
I don't know why the Zerg player is not trying to attack that, but it's a good decision regardless.
Yeah, I don't think he even scouted. He's like, forget it. I'm not even going to touch it.
TLO moving some more healing.